All right, guys. So President Trump made a move that I really, really, really like. Okay. And the reason why is because President Trump, right, his task over the next 2 to 4 years is to exert more control over the Republican Party. He's trying to become a king maker. Okay. And becoming a king maker requires money. Matter of fact, politics is mainly about money, right? If you want to know why politicians do certain things, why they pass certain policies, just look at who's donating to them, right? Those are the real handlers, right? Politicians are just bought and sold like stocks on the exchange. I'm so serious about that. It's really not that much different, right? And a lot of our politicians are depreciating assets nowadays. But President Trump, he's trying to control the money, okay? Because the RNC, along with some of these other conservative groups, are raising money off of Trump's name without necessarily using some of that money to support Trump-backed candidates, right? It's not necessarily going towards Trump's cause, and they're raising money off of it, right? So Trump made a big boy move. He sent cease and desist letters to stop the RNC, NRCC, and the NRSC from using his name. And let's read a little bit more here. Attorneys representing former President Donald Trump on Friday issued cease and desist letters to the Republican National Committee, National Republican Congressional Committee, and National Republican Senatorial Committee for, quote, using his name and likeness on fundraising emails and merchandise, according to Politico report. The three fundraising committees are the largest and most prominent fundraising vehicles for GOP members of Congress and emerging candidates that have been endorsed by the party apparatus. Trump is reportedly upset that his name is being used without his permission by organizations that are backing Republicans who supported his impeachment, according to Politico. Ding, 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 right? This is where the war is fought, right? This is how the financial war is fought, right? These three fundraising committees raise money for candidates that Trump probably is looking to get rid of, right? They're supporting candidates that Trump is looking to get rid of. So Trump is doing a smart thing. He's basically cutting off those funds, right? Or at least attempting to make it harder for them to raise funds because they're raising funds using Trump's name, right? A lot of these emails are trying to get at the core of conservatives who support Trump and are trying to use Trump as a means to raise money for people that Trump does not necessarily support, right? That's kind of how the game goes, okay? So the former president, who has long made licensing agreements for many of his business ventures over the decades, was also selective about how his name was used for fundraising while in office, according to the report. Just yesterday, the RNC sent out emails requesting that supporters make donations for a card to, quote, thank Trump. President Trump will always stand for the American people, and I just thought of a perfect way for you to show that you support him, the email stated. As one of the president's most loyal supporters, I think that you deserve the great honor of adding your name to the official Trump thank you card. Wow. I mean, if that ain't a finessing email, if I ever seen one, right? That's one of them emails that you get that you send to the spam folder. But they're trying to make it so obvious, right? How they capitalize always and most loyal. They're really trying to tug at the heartstrings of Trump supporters, right? In order to get them to donate to the RNC and all these other groups. It's really funny how that works. I mean, I guess you can say that's identity politics. Another email was sent later in the day reminding supporters of a deadline for signing their names on the card. According to Politico, GOP insiders said it was impossible not to use Trump's name as he boasts immense popularity with the party's base and with the low propensity voters that fuel unexpected Republican wins in many congressional races across the country in 2022. Well, I mean, that may be true. It may be hard not to use Trump's name, but that's why the GOP, sooner rather than later, should probably get a solid policy platform, right, to rally people around ideas and policies, Okay? Because if you rally people around ideas and policies, then it will be very hard for one man to come into the party and take over everything, because the party actually is standing on a policy platform and principles, right? But when you stand in opposition to just the Democrats, somebody like Trump can come in and be like, oh, America first. Here are all my policies that I believe are American first. And bam, lo and behold, people like Trump, right? Because at the very least with Trump, you know, you can say, well, he has an agenda. He has an America first plan. He has at least some semblance of a policy platform. Okay? And because the establishment Republicans don't have that, they're finding it hard to stand on anything outside of Trump. Right? So maybe they should start highlighting some of Trump's America first agenda without necessarily using his name. But maybe they should start, you know, pushing the policy more than pushing just Trump. Right? That could be a start. Who knows? The insiders reportedly said that if Trump wants to see Republicans win back control of Congress in 2022 midterm elections, then he should not be so restricted with his name. However, an advisor to Trump disagrees with such sentiment. President Trump remains committed to the Republican Party in electing America First conservatives, but that doesn't give anyone, friend or foe, permission to use his likeness without explicit approval, the advisor told Politico. All right. So, I'm going to tell you, just from that statement there, Trump team, whoever his new advisors are, people that's advising him are definitely telling him the right stuff. Right? Him coming out at CPAC and not announcing that he's running in 2024, basically leaving it up for interpretation, but strongly implying that he might. Excellent move. Now, kneecapping the establishment's ability to fundraise off his name. Excellent move, right? These are all excellent moves that Trump needs to be making, because he knows that at this point, he can't trust the establishment. He can't trust them, right? So in order to take power, you have to start shifting over everything to Trump, right? You have to leave the door open for everything. You have to keep friend and foes guessing in regards to what your next move is, so people stay in line. Because the sooner that you reveal your move, the sooner that you reveal your motives, you give your opponents, friend or foe, right, time to react into game plan against you. And we all know that that's what the GOP is trying to do. They're trying to keep Trump and Trump-backed candidates from winning the primaries, okay? And the reason why is because they don't think that Trump and Trump-backed candidates can win general elections, right? So Trump is going to have to prove that he can do that. And one way to cripple the establishment is to take away their source of funding or make it harder for them to fundraise. So this move from Trump is one of a series of moves that he's made lately that I think is a really good sign in terms of how serious Trump is about taking control of his party, right? And Trump is making some very nice strategic moves here in order to set himself up as a kingmaker in this party, right? So we'll see what other moves he makes moving forward. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.